A very good afternoon. We're here today to talk about something very special, something unusual, and it's all part of the current narrative in the discussion which we are basically having when we talk about race, when we talk about gender, and when we talk about class. And I'm talking here about play cards. And of course, everybody uses play cards. And what are we used to have in the play cards? We're used to have the king, the queen, and the jack. Well, okay, that is of course very gender specific. It's very class specific. It's very race specific. And I'm talking here to Indy Melling, who came up with the idea to replace those cards with different kinds of symbols. And we're going to take a look at that. And Indy, why did you get involved in changing the idea of our play cards? I mean, why start that battle? I mean, you have the GSB playing cards, the gold, silver, bronze playing cards, instead of the king, the queen, and the jack. Why did you get involved in that discussion?
Well, to be honest, I was sitting on the couch one day and I actually love playing cards. And I was thinking about the concept of, yeah, why is the king actually worth more than the queen? Because if you play poker, you get more money. And yeah, with every game, it's you win a hand with a king over a queen, right? And then I was like, that's actually not fair. And then I was discussing it with my family and I was like, oh, somebody should have an alternative for this, just in like, if you just like me think it's not fair. And then my dad was like, yeah, you make that alternative. So I was brainstorming and then I was like, I think we should even remove the gender from the whole debate, like not even discuss this. And same with race, because it's all white cards. So I wanted to find an alternative that is just does not include this whole debate of fairness and something that's just neutral. So gold,
Hmm.
silver, bronze.
Okay, that's a very simple idea to sit on the couch and to say, okay, that would be easy. No white people only. No, no good. No, the queen is less worth than the king, and the queen is less worth than is more worth than the jack. So that's a simple idea. But then, I mean, don't you have other things to do? What do you do in normal life? I mean, what is your background?
I'd like to think I'm a busy person. Yeah, I studied neuroscience and psychology. Then I went on to do a master's in forensic psychology, which I finished. And I'm actually now teaching legal psychology at Erasmus University. So, and I'm applying to PhD positions.
Yeah, so
But
it's not
yeah,
that
this is something that I
you have
find
nothing
important.
to
It,
do.
of course,
It's
has
not
nothing to
that you
do.
have enough. Yeah, it's not that you have nothing to
No.
do in your life. You're a busy person, and to
Yeah.
basically and to spend time, because I mean you really developed a deck. It's a real product. I mean I have it here in my hands and it looks beautiful. It's well designed. And
Yeah.
do you have time for this?
Well, I make time. I find it important.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, yeah. So where did this passion come from? I mean, do you think that this whole thing about race and gender and class is that part of your life before? Have you been involved in actions in different ways?
Well, so I'm a psychology major, mainly forensics, but we have read a lot of papers about what it's like for patients to encounter racism or sexism in their daily life and how we can help treat them with that. And yeah, I just realized that even subtle racism, so things like in playing cards where you don't actively think about this, because I'm sure a lot of people have thought like, oh, I never considered this, actually does influence a lot of people in their daily life and their work life. So that's when I realized, like, yes, okay, it is something minor and it's playing cards, but it is actually very important because it does influence people, even though you don't realize it.
Yeah. Okay. So you got started. You had this idea. What happened next?
Well, I am not the business type person at all. I studied neuroscience and psychology, so I needed help. I do come from a business-like family, so my brother and my dad stepped in and they helped me take the steps in how to do this. And of course, it's first designing the product and yeah, actually conceptualizing what it is. So I started with that, and then it started with testing it out with family and friends. Do they even like the idea? Is it just me and, of course, my family who will support me? And through a lot of trial and error and yeah, trial groups, they actually did say that they liked it, and we ordered the first 50 packs, which sold within a couple weeks, and now we're selling our next batch. So slowly but surely establishing the business.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the. Let's see here if I can put it in the camera. Now I have this. I have to change my green screen is messing up with me, so I'm going to go back to a normal camera so I can show the card. Yeah. So let's see. So this is the jack is now replaced with bronze, and the queen is replaced by silver, and the king is replaced by no gold. Yeah, gold. So
Yeah.
these are the replacements. How tough is that to in playing? I mean, how long does it take you to get used to the new reality?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say fairly quickly, and not just because I'm selling the cards, of course, but I've had friends and students who are already playing them in drinking games, and we used them on a family holiday, and I think after the first round of playing them, you're already like into the system because it's quite automatic. People are already familiar with the hierarchy of gold, silver, bronze. It's just that you have to think like, gee, oh yeah, gold, but you see gold, so. Yeah, and even like games got a new name already, like King's Cup turned into Gold's Cup, and yeah, even with like a Dutch game like Bridge and stuff, it easily was adapted.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So I can imagine people are picture people, and I can imagine that you do it quickly. But I just wonder what about the practical things. Okay. So how do you get those cards made? Is that made in China? Is it easy to design these things? How much work is it to come up with a product like this? Because you've
Yeah, I
never done
mean, there's
anything
a
like this
couple.
before. I mean, you're a psychologist, you're a criminal
Yeah,
psychologist, and you're
yeah,
neuroscientist. I mean, it's not producing a product. It's something completely different.
yeah. It of course required a lot of background research before looking into it. I had to also download new programs of editing. You can't just do this on your basic Paint or Word. Um, And yeah, we emailed a lot of companies because if you want to make your own playing cards, a lot of people just offer you to change the back card or like what it looks like on the front, but they keep the original King, Queen, Jack. So that was quite hard to convince people of that. So lots of emailing with companies back and forth, and also we tried them in China, but they're quite expensive for just trying out small packs. So we wanted to stay a bit local. And then we found one person who was very interested in this one company. And then we ordered our first 50 packs from them. It was very successful. They also delivered quite quickly. And yeah, we'll probably stick with them too because they really deliver what we want in terms of changing the front and the back of the card.
Yeah, yeah. And did you design it, or did you have help designing
Yeah.
it?
No, I just sat down a couple weekends and let my creative juices flow, and this is what came out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're very beautiful. They look incredible, incredible nice. So is this now copyrighted? How do you, if you have a concept like this, can you protect it?
Yeah, so I've looked into copywriting, trademarking, and everything related. And I actually decided not to do this because my goal is to have this idea get out there, just to provide an alternative. So if somebody else out there, like I don't know, China starts mass producing this, or somebody else grabs this opportunity and thinks, "Hey, I can do that better," and the idea starts spreading, then my goal has been reached. So I actually purposely did not trademark it.
Okay, so it's an open source. But the problem
Yep.
is, of course, if somebody else can then trademark it, then you could be out of an idea. So I mean, somebody could grab the concept. You can, of course, make it an open source license. So you license it, but you give it for free to everybody else to use. There's special ones for that because
Yeah,
otherwise somebody
but
could
then
grab it. It would be a waste.
Yeah, but then there's a problem like what are you exactly trademarking, right? Are you trademarking my design that I made, or are you just trademarking the idea? And then how do you exactly trademark an idea? And how can I prove that I'm with us? And it's yeah, or am I trademarking the cards? So can it then not be used on different websites who want to use gold, silver, bronze for something else? So it's a bit trickier in that sense to then find an open source trademark in the end.
Okay, so you also looked into that part, but your business, your goal
Yeah.
is basically to change the way we think, the way we see that our thinking about white and gender and race, that and also class, that it is into even small things like a pack of cards. So
Well,
how do
yeah, I
people?
mean,
Yeah.
it's raising awareness, sure, but it's actually just removing this problem anyway. So even if you've never considered it, this way I'm providing an alternative so you don't even have to consider it. So it's potentially starting a debate or actually even preventing a debate.
Yeah. How do people react if you come with this? Because normally everything with race and gender and class is quite.
Um, s- uh, Yeah, of course, I've had my fair share of negative and positive responses. The positive ones are extremely supportive people who buy the packs and give them to gifts to everybody else. But regarding the negative ones, I just see it in the sense of they're always like, "Why would you waste your time on this? It's such a small concept. Why is it even useful? And how much farther are we going regarding this gender neutralness, right? Like it's too far changing card games." And then my response is just like, well, if you don't like it, then don't use it. It's an alternative. You can, of course, keep using your king, queen, jack. I'm just trying to provide an alternative to the people who do find it important and to show you the importance of gender neutrality.
Hmm. Yeah, yesterday we had a discussion about Zwarte Piet here in the Netherlands, and we
Yeah.
talked about it. And somebody was really irritated that we made such a big deal out of it. And but if we talked a little bit further, and he says it has nothing to do with, and then something came with slavery and that kind of stuff. But we had a really heated debate, and of course it goes all around the world. But it's thinking
Yeah.
about it and discussing it. It gives you a little bit of a background, and this really helps. What so what are you doing to raise the discussion and to make this pack more popular and to put it into the mind of people?
Well, momentarily, we're actually also reaching out to gaming web shops and like small gift shops to potentially help sell the product. I'm also like going to these young networking of entrepreneurial meetings to see if I can get advice on people and how to get this up and running. I'm not a marketing major or anything of the sorts, but I do have people who support this cause and want to help me with that. So, um, yeah, reaching out to companies who also find this important and who are working on gender neutrality and gender equality. And my own university has been supporting me a lot in this too. They've been buying packs and
Yeah.
giving to students. So, yeah.
Okay, that's nice. What about the press? Did you send it to the papers and the television and the radios? And did you do anything with media?
Not yet. It is on the plan for sure. Right now, we're focused on Christmas sales, but next year we have discussed with a small group of people who are helping me with this to also start reaching out to press. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, raising the discussion and making, it's a very pleasant, non-threatening way to give people an alternative. And since you also opened up the design that everybody can use it, it's not something you do for money. What is your
Yeah.
goal? What is your goal after this project? I mean, you say you're ready this week with your study. So what is exactly this
Yeah.
master or this master degree you've reached? What is that? What are you doing?
It's forensic and legal psychology degree. Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's anything related between crime, law, and psychology. So things like interrogation skills, but also how to identify a psychopath, or what kind of treatment does a repeat sex offender need, or what is the recidivism rate of a serial killer? Anything where crime and psychology is needed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sure you have all kinds of interesting cases you study on, and you basically try to figure out if people are a psychopath or if they have all kinds of other things. Have you looked at Trump as a case to study?
Well, the thing is, he hasn't done anything illegal technically on paper, so that means he's not relevant for our case studies either. He's
He's
not a
not
criminal,
relevant.
so to say.
No. Okay. Um, what kind of now that you're ready with your study, do you want to be a businesswoman and sell 1 million packs, or is it what kind of job are you looking for?
I'm actually applying to PhDs right now, either in neuroscience or in psychology. That is where my work passion is, but I am working very hard on getting this business up and running. So I have actually agreed with myself to start doing this, well, not part-time, because I would say 50-50, but a chunk of my time at least to put more time into it. So we'll see where it goes. If it leads to me being a businesswoman selling 1 million packs, then I will gladly accept that.
Yeah, but I think it's more important actually that the press, the international press, picks it up. It would be great
Yeah,
if the New York Times would pick it up, or just if some if or some European press. And I
yeah.
think that is basically the way to get going. And so if anybody hears this and knows people in the press, please send along. Just make the website known, and people can reach you on the website. There is, let's see if I
Yeah.
can basically
Well,
get your website one more time in the picture. How can
the
they reach
social
you?
medias are also on there. Yeah, we're on Facebook, Instagram, our emails on the website as well. You can even send like a message through the website, like a contact form, if you prefer that. So we try to be available in whatever preferred form people like.
Okay, so you have some people saying that they were quickly used to it, and it's a great conversation about gender equality. That's really true. I mean, it's a nice way to get kids involved in this kind of in this kind of playing. Okay, so let's see the cards. They are $10, 9.95,
Yeah,
black and red. And the
yeah,
first generation, okay, that's the first 50 cards, the 50, and there's some, it's limited.
yeah.
And so it's interesting, and you have two, if you buy a double pack, that's more expensive than buying two single packs. Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, you do get them both in the same pack at one point, and it's more relevant for like bridge players and that kind of stuff rather than just one single pack. So it's like
That's
more
why
of a
they
special packaging.
but
Yeah.
normally if I have buy two, I get a discount, and now I pay 5 cents more. I just think I've never seen anything that if you buy two, you pay more than if you buy one. So,
But
but
you're
that's
not buying two black ones, right? Then it would be cheaper. You're buying a double pack.
yeah. But I mean, if I buy a red one and then a black one, then it's 19.90. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's like it's more.
Well,
I've
I mean,
never
it's good
seen it.
feedback. We'll take it into consideration.
I think it's just fun. Okay, so here is your social media, and this is your, and this is also the email to reach you. I mean, this goes to you personally,
Yep,
or is there also an Indy
yep.
at gsbplayingcards.com, which is a little bit,
If you
which
would
is a
like
little
to
bit more.
email to India GSP playing cards, then I will reply to that. Yes.
Probably everything comes to you, right? It's really
Yeah.
okay. So that's
Yes.
you have an eco label. What is that?
Well, so the printer who prints our cards has that on all the things that he prints on.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where is he located, the printer?
Well, so his
Which?
company is located in Amsterdam, but he says that he prints somewhere else, but it's not clear to us where exactly.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I think it's a wonderful project, and it's great that you're learning a huge amount of business skills picking this up. You
Yeah.
will see how it is first. I mean, the business of creating a product, and then of course the marketing and the PR and the sales. That
Yeah.
every student should do that. It's extremely useful. But also, you're starting an important discussion, and you make it very easy to start this gender discussion. By every time we play cards. So
Yeah.
I bought one and we play at home, and all the kids liked it, and they thought it was completely, I mean, the 12 and 14, and they thought it was completely normal. They didn't think about it for 2 minutes. So that was a good, and then we go like, why are all these pictures white, and why is the king more worth than the queen, and why is the jack
Yeah.
the
It
lowest
it's
one?
something
So
you don't want to have to explain to your kids, right?
yeah, well, no,
Well, at
I
least I
actually,
don't.
for me, because I mean, they were used to normal playing cards. So for us, it was a great way to start a discussion, and they go, okay, this is everything.
Yeah.
Society is stratified in, in classes and in gender and in race, and that's when they go like, this is completely ridiculous. So I thought it helped in our family. So I want to thank you very much for putting your energy into it.
Well, it's great
And I
to
want to
hear.
ask everybody who reads
Yeah.
this, who basically listens to this, just buy a pack of cards and show it around. But also, if you can help distribute the message, that would be very much appreciated because I think it's very useful.
Yeah.
Or if you don't agree and think this is completely ridiculous, okay, start discussing it underneath. That's also really interesting because we need to have a discussion about that. So, Indy, good luck with your selling your million copies, or most importantly, that everybody else starts to make cards and sell them
Hmm.
because that will get your goal closer a lot faster.
Thank you very much. And thank you for
Okay,
this opportunity.